Hey guys, I want to give a heads up before we start this episode. This is our new weekly breakdown / review of the Halo TV series. So we will be spoiling heavily. So if you have not started Halo, I would recommend turning this off immediately. We're doing episode 1 right now, but this will be at the beginning of every episode. So obviously, as episodes go on, just pay attention which episode it is. And if you haven't watched that, then I would recommend turning this off because we'll be breaking down each episode and reviewing it and also speaking about the Halo games. So if you are wanting to play the Halo stories or the Halo campaign and care about the stories, I'd recommend not watching or listening to these either. So without further ado, we'll get into the episode here. Welcome to the Current Backloggers. I'm your host, Casey P. I'm my good friend and co-host, Aaron C. We're here for another episode review of Halo, Episode 7, Inheritance. Before we get into that, is there anything you want to talk about from episodes before that we missed?
Did you have anything? I didn't have anything
Yeah,
major.
I was going to say one thing is real minor, but I just couldn't believe I didn't talk about it. In Episode 5, when they do the flashback to John and like the gymnasium thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Halsey. This is not key to the story at all. This is why it's a side thing. But how somehow she already looks good for her age, but they somehow made her look even younger. And I don't think it's CG or anything. I think it was just makeup. And it was impressive because even just a change of hairstyle and what appeared to be probably not a little makeup, probably a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
But didn't look unnatural or goofy or anything. And she looked downright beautiful at like 53 or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
I know the scene you're talking about.
okay.
Yeah. She looks way younger and
Yeah.
way better. And
It's kind of crazy. Like I said, she already looked good for her age, but I was like, this is remarkable.
yeah. I did notice one thing, actually.
Okay.
Now that I think about it. During the fight scene, we got the kind of warthog thing mixed up. The Chief starts running first, and then he gets in the warthog. And I think we mixed it up. I think we said he got in the warthog first, and then he was running, like where he like switches his weapons.
Oh, yeah.
But it might have been how we did the scene. We just mixed it up
gotcha.
a little bit. But yeah, because during that fight scene, Kai is like getting shot, and he jumps out of the warthog just to help her.
Gotcha.
Because I think we said he just jumped down, but he actually jumps out of the warthog.
Yeah.
So just a small correction.
No, I got you. All right. Anything else before we get into this wacky episode?
This episode is all Quan Ha haters' nightmare.
Yeah, we talked before we started recording. This is definitely going to be a different episode, and we'll see. We always want these to be natural, but probably a quick one because usually we kind of like go bit by bit to tell the story of the episode and give our thoughts as we go, which we're going to kind of do. But if you watch this episode, you might understand that's pretty impossible to do with this episode.
Yeah, it's pretty much all Madrigal in all the plot line that no one cares about.
Yeah.
And I was really scared that something like this would happen. And actually, I jinxed it at the end of last episode. I was like, I hope episode 7 gets better.
Mm-hmm.
And I really jinxed it really badly. And I think you said that as well.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Because we were hoping for more Chief, and we get him, but in a really weird way, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we can get into this.
All right. So the beginning of the episode starts with young Quan. Well, I shouldn't say young. It seems like a couple years prior, maybe.
Yeah,
She's
it's
not
really
too
weird,
young.
but they
Yeah.
made her look way younger, and her hair is different.
Yeah.
And they're just all like, yeah, I don't. The scene is interesting.
Yeah, she didn't have the terrible like mohawk mullet thing going on. But it also didn't look great to me because I'm pretty sure it's a wig because of that. So it still looked kind of awkward. I don't know if you watched the after show this week, but she was on there.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, it was weird because she's Australian. It's like a very faint accent, but it's weird hearing her talk like that, and she sounds super polite, and As a normal hairstyle, not like the normal Halo show, and not like she was wearing that wig. It looks like a normal, true hairstyle,
Oh my gosh.
and she even looks kind of cute. Nothing more than that, but I was like, this is quite the change
Interesting.
up from.
I don't think it's not the actress. Like, when I say I hate Kwan Ha, I don't hate the actress. I hate the character.
Yeah.
I just, because, there's characters I can hate. Doesn't mean I hate the actress.
Yeah. Oh no, I get it.
Like, I don't think her acting is the problem.
Yeah.
I think it's the writing for the character.
Yeah. She's with her whole family, and doesn't seem like a whole lot happens here unless you got stuff.
Not a lot. They're just we see General Ha again. Rest in peace. We miss him. Not really. But rest in peace to him if you do care about him. And they're just kind of just all talking at the table, eating, and Kwan just kind of shows us how annoying she is again. Because they have this younger guy sitting. I don't think he's younger. He's probably the same age as her, but he sits next to her. And they ask her to take him for a walk after dinner, and she gets all angry and runs away from the table, and then looks out at Madrigal, and that's the scene.
Yeah,
because the dialogue is so unimportant in the scene.
That's why I had the biggest trouble constructing. Talking about this as the episode goes on, because I have a couple notes, but there's no real storyline to follow or tracking points to go with.
Yeah, and then there's just nothing to keep it with last week's episode.
Yeah,
at all. So yeah, that's what happens. She's just looking out at Madrigal, and we get to modern day Kwan riding the peon version of the Warthog. And I think they tried to make this really badass as she's driving into the sandstorm, but it wasn't.
Have you ever seen Mad Max?
Yes.
Felt like all the scenes like that in this episode felt a lot like Mad Max as far as the wide open sand environment and seeming like it's on the brink of destruction.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Which I'm not the biggest Mad Max fan, but I feel like those are definitely the positive things of Mad Max. So
yeah,
I thought those scenes were well shot and looked cool, even though nothing was really happening.
I think the sand looked cool. Kwan Ha driving into it was my problem. But also, if anyone's been around sand, you don't want it in your eye. Kwan goes into this with no eye protection.
Yeah.
And there's sand blowing everywhere. So either her eyes are, Spartan eyes or something, and they just can take anything, or she doesn't care.
Well, maybe that's why this mysterious figure helps her out when she stops the vehicle and puts a bag on her head. He's like, what are you doing out here, silly? And then it cuts the intro.
Yeah, you just see the shadowy figure, and first of all, if I'm seeing a shadowy figure, I am in a vehicle. I am not stopping.
Yeah.
She stops it, and then So that's a good point. I think that's what was going on. And yes, the intro.
And then it cuts to Soren's place. They never put it on the screen this episode. I couldn't remember what it was called. I don't know.
Rubble.
Okay. I definitely could not remember.
So, do you know how he got back there?
No, I started feeling like I didn't pay attention, but I was like, no, I feel like the episodes we cover, we didn't talk about that. I feel like I don't know if we actually mentioned this. I feel like the last time you see him, she's pointing the gun at him.
Yeah, she
I don't think we talked about that.
Knocks him down. No, we did talk. We talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah. She knocks him down and then points her gun at him, but nothing else happens after. Excuse me. Nothing else happens after that.
No, I was wondering the same thing. I was like, I must have missed something, but I don't think I did at the same time.
So yeah, he's back on Rubble, and they're just all hanging out, him and his crew. Sorry, excuse me again. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're just all hanging out, and there's a guy that's kind of talking shit. Is what I got from what he was saying.
Yeah.
He was saying that Soren's back, but he doesn't have Kwan Ha with him, and he doesn't have the bounty for her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's I think Soren has lost a step, and Soren's like, what? Just insult me in front of everybody? So that's what I had for that scene. I don't know if you had anything else.
That's more than I had, and I think that is a decent. Not, I think you did as well as you could because there wasn't much to work with. I think it's a good summary of what is there.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's like some other side conversations, but they have nothing to do with the story, and then there's just that guy insulting Soren.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that guy's name either.
I didn't either. I didn't actually watch this one with closed caption. I usually do that in my second watch. I should have done that, but I feel like I still sat there and watched it.
I don't know if his name is said.
I never heard it.
So there's just a guy on Rubble that doesn't like Soren anymore, pretty much. And if someone knows his name, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Then we go back to Madrigal. It's you see how this episode's all Madrigal, which is mostly true, but it's just definitely a back and forth between Rubble and Madrigal over and over, and mainly Madrigal, but just back and forth between these two over and over. We see Venture and his Venture mobile, Batman style, cruising through Mad Max world, and it almost looks like I
had something before
did
that.
You?
There's actually another scene before it, but it's not even a big scene. Quan is just captured by the mystics that we hear about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A couple episodes before, she talked to one of her dad's her aunt.
Yeah.
That's who she was talking to, and she was talking about the mystics, and we were like, what does this even mean? And we see the mystics, and I don't even know how to describe them, but they're not very mystical, if you ask me. And she, again, threatens to fight them all if they don't give her info, which I don't know why she keeps doing this, because later in the episode, we do get a fight scene, and I don't really think she was useful in the fight, so I don't understand why she keeps threatening everybody that she sees. And then the lady, that's all I got from the scene. The mystic leader, I didn't get her name either. She's just like, hate blinds you. And then it kind of moves on to Venture in the Venture mobile.
Yeah, they're just cruising through Mad Max world, kind of like a generic Chevy commercial or something.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird set in this environment, and that's all I had till we go back to Rubble. If you have anything else?
That was actually it. Like, they're just in the Venture mobile, and they're looking for Quan.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the scene.
And then we go back to Rubble, and I didn't have anything here. Do you?
So this is all I put. We're back to Rubble, and there's just a random scene of the guy that doesn't like Soren walking through the streets. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's the scene.
Oh, no, yeah, that's why I didn't have anything. It wasn't because I wasn't paying attention or I didn't want to put anything. It's just I didn't think there was anything I could put. Is that all right?
Then I think after then he's talking to Soren after, and he's apologizing for what he said because he was drunk. And then Soren says that he's been taking the guy for granted that was insulting him, which I thought was interesting. Mm-hmm. And then the guy tells Soren about a UNSC shipment, and they're hauling some slip space technology. And that was it for that scene. So they're out to go take the UNSC equipment.
I don't think I caught that part. I was focusing too hard, and I was like, "Is nothing happening? What's going on?"
That's
here?
all that was with that scene, basically. So Soren is a pirate, which we haven't really
pilot.
Pilot. But he's a great pirate. Not really. But so we get to see him be a pirate, I guess. But
yeah.
So he's going after a UNSC ship.
All right, and then we go back to Madrigal. This is where I probably have most of my notes, which is still not many. You probably have more leading up to this. The first thing I have is Quan goes on, gets some of this crazy drugs. You have anything before that?
I do. I have a bit before that.
Okay.
Basically, we go back to Madrigal, and basically the Mystics are just she's telling a story about Madrigal in the past. That's basically all that happens.
Yeah.
And then that's all I had before that. Then she drinks it's like a bowl, and there's like fire, and then I kind of missed it, but I think they put the fire in the bowl or something, and then she drinks it.
Yeah, there's a lot of trends in this show, like drugs seem to be happening pretty often. We actually had a few episodes without it, but asses were a thing for quite a while there.
Yeah.
They seem to go on streaks of weird things that they do. And then after she takes the drugs, she wakes up on the ship that we see from the pilot episode, pilot episode, and sees Chief there. So you assume this comes some kind of like hallucinogens or something, because she starts seeing stuff that has obviously already happened, or she's going crazy or having a trip or something. And then our man, I remembered his name from last episode. Reth is there.
Reth.
The crazy man from, I think, episode 3, maybe?
Yeah, we were saying like Reeve, and I don't know what we were saying last week, but we didn't know it. So, Reth.
Yeah.
Ref. Okay, yeah, so he's there.
And then the next thing I had was the fight scene. Did you have anything before that?
That was it. But she does walk out of the ship, and then the crazy man pops up, and then she walks into this tent. Well, Master Chief's walking in front of her also.
Yeah.
And then she walks into this tent, and then there's a fight.
Yeah, between her and Master Chief, it's I was joking about how he should kill her, and then after seeing what it was, and it was all like imagination or some kind of trip or something, I feel like they really should have went off the fucking walls here. I mean, like that first episode, and that was real, because they could have done whatever. He could have like bashed her face in over and over, broke her back, because I thought he could have really taken advantage of this scene, not even because the hate of her, just because it'd be, I feel like, pure entertainment scene. Something like him just fucking throw her around, but instead it was funny, but he just like generically would punch her and then would cut away.
Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah.
She has this chain that she like picks up. She starts hitting Chief. It does nothing.
Yeah.
Like it just bounces off pretty much. And then she like goes in to hit him, and then he would just punch her. And yeah, and then she grabbed a knife the second time. She tried to stab him. Did nothing. He punched her, knocked her off.
Surprising, a knife against metal wouldn't do something.
Yeah.
I thought it just sunk right through.
Yeah, and then she tries shooting him with a gun. The same thing happens. Punches her. And then she uses a rock the last time.
Yeah, she was like, this worked on the bike. Why not?
Yeah, I guess she's friends with the rocks on Madrigal, because no one else will be her friend. Oh, roasted. But then she asked Chief what he wants from her. And, I thought it was cool that we finally get Chief only with the helmet on. But of course, this had to happen.
Yeah, he takes it off. Her dying over and over and it cutting back. Like I said, I think they could have done that much more entertaining. It felt very much like Free Guy, if you've seen that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you haven't, you should
Great
watch
movie,
it.
by the way. Definitely watch it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, the trailer was really undersold. I almost didn't watch it because the trailers are kind of cringy.
Yeah.
But I like Ryan Reynolds and I love video games, so I was like, I'll give it a chance. And it's really good.
It's a really good movie and it's super entertaining.
Trailers don't do it justice. So, I'm glad you knew what I meant by that. And then, we have Chief taking off his helmet, and then they go outside, right? And that's...
Yep, they walk out of the tent.
And then he goes all AC/DC again, because before we can see him, he's back in his black Mass Effect outfit.
Yep.
And
back in black.
Yeah. And then he leads her to this well-looking thing, and somebody's standing there. And I think it's a monitor, like Guilty Spark is in there, and then he sinks down into it, but they kind of cut away. But I think that's what that was supposed to be, some kind of monitor.
I think so, also.
And then that figure comes walking towards Quan and starts morphing into different people, and then eventually becomes General Ha, her dad.
And I'm assuming the people are the other Ha's throughout the generations of Madrigal. Inheritance is the episode name, so that's why I'm just assuming that. They don't really say that, but then, yes, she sees her father at the end.
I thought Inheritance was because the money that she has at the end, but maybe it could be a double meaning too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers, by the way, for me. Not really reviewing the episode. But he talks about how what is in that well is a portal, and that that's why she must protect Madrigal at all costs.
Yeah, and the original guy also says that Master Chief will be back on Madrigal soon,
Yeah.
and she has to show him the portal.
Yeah.
So the portal probably leads to Halo. Just a guess.
Yeah.
Wild guess.
And then Quan wakes up, and then it has going back to Rebel, you said, right?
Well, there's one more thing. Quan's father tells her that she has to go back to where it all began. So probably the base in episode 1 that got wrecked by the Covenant. Yeah. And then back to Rebel. Well, actually, is it back to Rebel?
That's what I had. Do you have something?
It's a UNSC logistics ship. Because they're taking the supplies from the ship.
Who's taking supplies, man?
Soren and
Quan, and that. Well, no, not Quan.
Soren,
his wife.
I think she's there. Yeah, that's what I have.
Oh, okay. I thought that was still on his planet.
They say it right. There's like a little thing at the bottom of the screen that says UNSC logistics ship, and it was the ship that the one guy was saying has the technology, and they were going to go take it, but his wife is on the ship, and the other dude is there too. And Soren like crushes his foot, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And basically he just says fear is a good motivator, and I think that was with his wife, actually. He has that convo talking about how fear is a good motivator. And that's all I had for that.
Maybe this is a different point, because I had, when he's talked to his wife, he's talking about how he doesn't want to deal with Quan anymore, and then she says she's still alive. Is this later?
I don't know if I even put that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she tells him that Quan's still alive, and he questions how she would know that, and then she talks about how because the bounty went up, tripled on Venture, tripled the bounty on Quan.
Okay, it's the same conversation.
Okay.
Because I had that right after too, so that was all meshed into the same conversation.
I gotcha. And I had to go back to Madrigal unless you have anything.
Yeah, that was it.
All right. So then Venture and his crew, it's Quan's mom, isn't it? Or is this an aunt? Or who? Which Ha is this?
I think it's her commander that we saw at the ceremony, the candle lighting for General Ha.
Oh, is it? 'Cause she was sitting next to him at the table at the beginning. That's why I thought it was her mom. And then there's a line he says at the later in this episode that we'll get to that made me think it was.
Maybe it is
her mom, but they have a conversation with her, and then it gets real dark.
Oh yeah.
She gives them what they want, and then pretty much says you're free to go, and just turns around, just shoots them in the back of the head. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that happened. They were having a conversation, and Venture was roasting the Ha family, pretty much, which, go Venture, yeah. Roast them. And then he just shoots her. Yeah. I was like, oh, damn, she's dead. I mean, I didn't care about her, but she's dead.
And then that's when Soren comes to Madrigal to help Quan. Do you have anything? Before I keep going, I don't know, just list stuff off.
Hold on, let me see. So Venture gets in the Venture-mobile again, and he's heading towards, because I think Quan goes back to the base before that one scene, but it wasn't a big scene. It was just her basically going back. And so Venture gets in the Venture-mobile, then it goes back to Quan, and she's exploring the base more, and she finds like this belt thing, not important. She just ties it. And then she finds a letter that her father wrote to her grandfather asking about the portal. And then Soren is back on Madrigal.
Gotcha. And then they have some kind of conversation, Soren and Quan. Did you have anything there? Important. Or
well,
you wanted to add?
Quan has Soren's pistol. Jerk. She doesn't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Soren just says, you owe me a ship. And that if he found her, Venture isn't far behind, and he brings up his promise to John about keeping her safe.
Mm-hmm.
and he asks for his pistol back, but Quan says no. And that's what I had for that scene.
Yeah, and then venture over what appears to be a giant intercom in the space. And is like, Quan! And then this is what I thought, this is what made me think maybe that was her mom. He says, Quan, and he said, the last of the Haas. So I feel like he's like mocking her, like, there's no more. I just took out the last one. And it also sounds great, the last of the Haas. No more jokes. Last of the Haas.
Put a ha on this one.
And then after that, I had Soren going crazy. So do you have anything before that?
Yeah. So let's see. Venture's men, they come in fully armed, pretty much. And yeah, basically Soren goes crazy. But so Quan and Soren have a plan. Well, it's Quan's plan. But there's basically these pipes, and they have hydrogen gas that goes into them. So she says we should shoot it. It'll explode. And Soren's like, well, we'll die. And then she's like, oh, there's this room over here that if we get in before we shoot it, we'll be okay. So that's their plan.
Yeah.
And then Soren, he goes full Spartan on these guys.
Yeah, like you said, they're fully armored and appear ready to go, not like the pilot episode where they seem like they're on the brink of extinction. These people are ready to go, but they look like they have never fought when Soren starts doing it.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was actually a cool action scene, him start shooting them and then stabbing them, and I felt like it was all really well shot and actually really entertaining.
Oh yeah, the action
taking
scene
everybody out
was really good.
Yeah.
And like I said, I like Soren. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Like Soren, Quan not so much. So Soren being in this helped the Ha reviews at the end.
Did you next thing I had was a plasma grenade. Do you have anything before that?
I just kind of went through the fight scene. Soren
Okay.
kind of just starts wrecking Venture's men. He shoots a couple, but then there's this really cool scene where he has a knife and he kills 3 of the troops, and I thought it was just really awesome.
Oh no, it was.
Stabs the one guy, and then he just kills 3 in a row, and I'm just like, these guys are no match for this dude.
Yeah.
He's what we need from John.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have a suit. He doesn't have the Spartan armor.
Yeah.
He's still going badass. So
he's pretty much the same as a Spartan, though. He never has his helmet on, and
yeah, he's the
so
same.
might as well be the same.
Yeah. So they could just get rid of the helmets at this point, since they never need them. Obviously, he doesn't need it. So.
And then.
Let's see. The plasma grenade was the last thing.
Yeah, next thing I have.
So there was one of Venture's men that gets Quan Ha, but Soren shoots him in the head really fast, or chest. I don't remember exactly where it is. And Quan gets the pipes working, so because the pipe was clogged or something like that. They didn't really say what was happening, but
yeah,
I guess it wasn't working. But she gets it working, and let's see. Soren gets shot in the foot. I think it was his foot at first.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Quan is spotted by another one of Venture's soldiers, and then plasma grenade. First time I saw it. I was
gonna say I was gonna ask you, but I don't think so. And as cool as the plasma grenade was to see, and the ticking timer and it exploding, I don't know why she went on Gears of War with it, because you can't. Nobody sticks a plasma grenade hand to the person. You throw a plasma grenade.
Throw it.
And Gears of War, that is a thing. You can plant grenades. So again, it kind of just feels like they mixed in another game, which she was a foot away. They could have done the Halo thing, or even better. It'd make more sense if she was close, because she's not a real soldier, so she may not have good aim.
Yeah.
But it's a video game show. If they wanted to make it cool, she could have thrown it.
She could have just thrown it.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't know what it was. But she had to, because she planted it on their back, so. Yeah. It was cool to see, though.
Yeah, definitely.
And as soon as she put it on his back, I was like, well, he's dead. Pretty much, he's gone.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Anything before she finds Chief's assault rifle?
Venture shoots Soren in the chest right before that.
That's right, yeah.
He just bang. It's like, oh, crap, Soren, oh, no. He's not dead.
Yeah.
Spoilers, but he's not dead.
Anything else?
Then she finds Master Chief's assault rifle.
Yeah, which I thought it was a little corny of all the weapons there and all the people that died and everything left behind. He's like, assault rifle. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But then she rubs in and sees a 117. I was like, oh my god.
I was like, why?
Yeah, and I felt like they were trying to push, like, even though he wasn't there, he was still helping her, and they're still a team. And I was like, oh god.
It's like, of course. Like, of course. Now she has his assault rifle. That means she's not exiting the show. Sorry, everybody. And yeah, I'll get into that later.
Yeah, so then she sneaks around to get a vantage point of the tanks you've been talking about, and then shoots with her assault rifle, and fucking giant explosion that was really cool. And that like spear thing that you see from the pilot episode. I don't really get the physics of it shooting 1,000 feet in the air. I get the explosion would send momentum, but it seemed a little ridiculous, but it was still a cool looking scene. I also, when you're talking about how they're getting in that room, as they were talking about that, I was like, pretty sure he'd still be dead. And after seeing it, they still should have been dead, but I was like, whatever. It's all right. And then Venture and all of his men were out there, so they get roasted. I'm wondering, they should all be dead, no question. But it's a show, and also it's sci-fi. Is he dead, or is this going to be a Darth Vader thing? Especially,
Venture comes back as Vader.
Yeah, especially because right after it starts raining, so I can see that they say he's like on fire, and they got put out and left behind, and maybe he's like missing an arm, or they need to repair him or something.
I'm hoping he's dead.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessary. I think that was a cool scene, so I think it's a good way to have it end. I just felt like the way they did it and didn't show him dying, like
that they could bring him back.
Yeah, I feel like that was maybe intentional.
Yeah, either that or he's just gone and this Venture plotline is done.
Yeah,
which there wasn't much there anyway. But I could totally see them bringing him back.
Yeah. So then.
Yeah, it just starts raining. Oh, we missed a point. Not a big point, but they find Quan's money before the battle.
No, I actually skipped over that in my own notes because that scene was so fucking stupid. When he's like, oh my god, he has so much money. Let's ignore all these fucking people going to war on us.
Yeah.
And then even when they shoot all the windows out, they're still just staring at the money. I'm like, you guys both deserve to die right now. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and then Quan was like, I told you I was rich.
Yeah, you're not going to be rich for long. You're both going to be dead. You can be as rich as you want. You'll still be dead.
Yeah, and Soren, even before the battle, he collects the money. He, closes it up, and I don't even know where he puts it because it's in this big, clunky case. And, yeah, so Quan pays him. Soren leaves Madrigal, and Quan is like, I could use you. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, that's exactly what happens. I did save a great line, though. She says, after he says no, she says, we'll see each other again. And then Soren delivers a line that, for the whole audience, he says, God, I hope not. And also, damn.
Soren shows the hate that the entire audience has for this character, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I know I caught that line, but I didn't put it in here, but yeah, it's freaking awesome.
And then that's all I had.
Yep. It ends. Quan Ha has Chief's assault rifle, and she has it on her back, and she thinks she's really badass.
Yep.
And yeah, Paramount did the classic ad before credits again. No end credit scene, I checked.
Unless you're rich and you don't have to pay for ads.
Yeah, like Quan Ha.
Who went first last week? I don't remember.
I don't remember at all.
All right, you can pick who you want to go first. Because I don't remember either.
I'll go.
Okay.
So, this episode was pointless. The only point that connects it to Master Chief is the portal. That's it. That's all.
And his cool gun.
And his gun, yes. Because you can't just pick up another one. It has to be his. I don't know. The fight scene was cool. Here, I'll start with positives. So let's start with positives, and then we'll go to negatives. So, fight scene's cool. Soren's cool. Plasma grenade was cool. This is actually really hard. Venture shooting the one lady in the back or whatever was pretty cool. Pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Shows his evilness.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got for positives.
Okay.
Negatives, I could list a lot, but I've commented on this plot line for like the whole show. Like every episode we've done, I'm just like, Kwanha's pointless, Kwanha's pointless. This was like just the episode that I didn't want to happen that happened. And I was really scared about it. I don't know. I haven't like read anything about it and seen if people liked it. But for them, like the people I know that have watched it did not like it. There's hardly any Master Chief, except his weird dream scene, which was cool. I liked watching him punch her. But like I don't. Again, they could just wrap her story up and she could never show up again, but they keep it so she's around.
Mm-hmm.
So, this episode has the lowest Ha rating. I'm going to go 4 Ha's.
Okay. To answer something, not that you asked, but you commented on, like I said, I try and stay away from stuff until I watch it, but after I got my opinions and everything, I started looking around, and obviously there's all kinds of opinions, but generally it seemed like most people said this was the worst episode yet, and they were mostly all talking about how last week was the best episode yet, which obviously I don't agree with, but as we talked about, that's what most of the reviews were saying, so that's what most of the tagline for, from like best to worst. Or
yeah, and even last week's episode is better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
Because at least last week, it was Master Chief and the Blessed One, even though it could have been better, and they had awkward interactions, and there's weird sexual tension between them. It's still better than Quan Ha.
Yeah. So this episode, I feel like I'm going to give my real score. Well, here, I'll actually do this since we say Ha's. I feel like this episode's confusing because I think on its own, if it wasn't a Halo show, I'd be like, oh yeah, it was really entertaining. But as a Halo show, I think it was not good. So
it didn't feel like Halo.
Yeah.
At all.
No, for sure. That's why I feel like if it was just a generic action sci-fi show, it would be like a 8 or something. I thought it was an enjoyable episode, but it was just so conflicting because it was, I think, well done for the most part. But I just felt like that's not well done for what this is supposed to be progressing and moving forward with.
Yeah.
So
I think when I reviewed it, I was reviewing it as a Halo episode. I didn't actually look from the outside perspective, if that makes sense.
No. That's why I'm saying my official rating. That's why we do Haas, so that's gonna be my official rating. I was just also giving a side marker because I think usually I feel like most of the negatives we talked about are the episodes that are like subpar. I feel like we're trying to be Halo shows and just failing or doing stuff awkwardly or bad. And that's the weird thing about this. There's parts here and there that they should have done better or different, but I don't think most of it is done bad or poorly, like a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's just not done well for Halo.
Yeah, it's not the Halo we want.
Yeah. So I'd say 8 if you're looking at it that through that lens, but as a Halo show and our official Ha rating. I think all the positives you do, I think even though Plasma was cool, I think it was real lame the way they did it. There's seeing the Master Chief like that was real lame, and then again, of course, taking off the helmet and the black suit, and he never talks.
Yeah.
It just was all a bit much for me.
I like the punching. That was my favorite part. I just like that he got to punch Quan Ha.
Yeah. And the portal thing, I feel like that is their excuse to bring it together, and I don't like it, and I feel like it could get in real dangerous territory of being real corny and real bad if they don't do it right. But I think the one thing at least did here, hopefully, is streamline things a little bit. If that is going to be their story, that's not how I would do it, but if that is going to be their story, hopefully that'll just make it a little more straightforward instead of like jumping back between Madrigal and Halo and feeling like two separate shows, which I feel like this made that blatantly clear how different they were when you have like a whole episode focused on it and then a whole episode focused on Halo. Halo. And I feel like that made it clear as day. So I feel like that's one positive that could come out of this, even though it's not how I would do it. And if they do it right, I mean, I guess it could be cool. I feel like, I know we've all talked for different reasons. I feel like Kwan's there, obviously in this storyline for the portal now, but I feel like she's there just to have a woman lead, which I think is real weird because I think Cortana already did that in Halo, and what wasn't forced because part of it, and Halsey obviously, it kind of took a backseat in Halo in the games, but if you know her, she's a main like story point, and then this has been a big story point, and then Miranda they've amplified in the show, so I feel like it's just all highly unnecessary that you don't need this.
Yeah, you don't need Kwan Ha at all, and I'm reading a Halo book right now, and Halsey's in it a lot, so obviously she's a main female lead if that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
So just random Kwan Ha. And it's not the actress. Again, I want to say that because my brother made a point. He's like, "Is it the actress?" And I was like, "Oh no, like it's the character. It's not the actress. Like Kwan Ha could be anybody. Like she could be an alien, and I wouldn't like the character. Like it's just the character."
Might be closer to Halo though if she was alien.
Yeah.
But even with saying those positives and potential for positives coming out of what I don't think is a good episode, I've been, since I think episode 2, putting my ratings in here. And it's funny, I have 4 Haas. I think even looking at it from this angle, I don't think it's the worst thing. I just think it's a bad episode. Like I said, I think 4 is bad. I think this is the first truly bad episode we had.
Yeah.
I think even the other ones, I think have been mediocre. And like I said, tried to do things and just failed. And I think looking at it from a Halo lens, I think that's where I'd put it.
Yeah, and 4 is our lowest rating so far.
Yeah.
Episode 2 we gave pretty low. And last episode, I think I gave it 5. I think you gave it 5 last week or 6?
I think 6 for that one. I
So,
know the episodes, if I see them, they're just running together with the schedule we've done the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And everything going on. You say you didn't watch the after show.
did Rocky come back?
No, I'm real concerned that they showed us a sneak peek like they always do.
Oh, no.
And it was real cringy. As the Master Chief, well, John in his black suit, of course, and the Blessed One. They were in this beautiful environment with these blossom trees and just making like casual talk. And I just don't know what's even happening. And it's just like staring off in the distance and like grabbing this tree real dramatically. What the fuck is going on? This better not be the next episode. I mean, I know it's part of it. Better not just be like a drama fest between these two and beautiful environments and whatever weird connection they have. So, like I said, the biggest compliment I can give the show is that I still can't wait to see the next episode every week. I'm like, oh God, I gotta watch this. I'm still excited, but things like that and the negatives they talk about are what make me worry more and just, damn it.
Yeah.
I know how good it can be.
Yeah, because Halo has so much potential. And if they do it to its potential, it could become the next big sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to build off of. Like, we haven't seen the Covenant enough. Where are the Covenant? Like, It's so annoying. I just want to see brutes beat the shit out of people. Like, I understand you got to build the story and stuff, but I want brutes, I want elites, and I want people getting stabbed and killed. And, like, the first episode at the beginning, like, I want more of that. I'm hungry for it. Like, I'm ready. It's been too much talking. Like, let's get to the serious stuff.
Yeah.
Which, there's 2 episodes left.
Oh, I know. We're getting there.
We're getting so close to the end, and it's like, where's the, we haven't even seen the Prophets for a bit.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah, like I said last week, they're just drinking lemonade with the grunts, having parties, like, or alcohol. I don't know what they drink, but they're just having parties waiting for the Blessed One.
Like I said, hopefully that's one positive thing come out of this is that things will be more streamlined and cohesive.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
See, I think we should have got a full episode about Rocky. I think that would have been better than Kwan Ha. He could have went to Madrigal, made a random appearance.
I would take it.
Killed Quan. Found the portal. He likes Master Chief, so then he could just leave Master Chief to the portal.
Why not?
And I think that's where they should go. Bring Rocky. Hashtag bring Rocky into Halo.
Hashtag make Master Chief great again.
And justice for Cortana. I saw that in the comments, and we need it because that poor computer or whatever she is, she needs justice because Master Chief is too mean to her. So start that everywhere. Justice for Cortana.
People are gonna think it's a no shooting that happened or something.
Yeah.
What? Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
You got any predictions for next week? Anything you want to see?
I want to see less of what I saw in that sneak peek.
Probably a wedding next week.
No, I mean there's plenty I want to see, but I feel like I talked about it and I want to see more, not just more action, but more cohesiveness and storytelling that matters and action go on top of it. More of the blessed one with less, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Hashtag the blessed one. We missed her again. She wasn't in this episode, so we miss her.
But yeah, just a solid episode is all I'm hoping for.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping that we get more grunts and we get more jackals, maybe some elites. Maybe they attack Reach. Fingers crossed, because they do that at some point. Do. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that at some point in the Halo story. If anyone's familiar, the Covenant are actually like pretty overpowered. I don't want to say overpowered. More powerful than the UNSC as far as technology and
I think they
resources,
definitely are.
and we haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah, I think what evens it out is the Spartans, and that's why they're so crazy powerful, because the fact that a handful of them can even out a battle where the Covenant has a clear advantage.
Yeah, and also, something we haven't seen, and I think is really key, like, for sci-fi shows, a space battle.
Yeah.
Because both sides have space, like ships. And space battles can be the coolest thing. And I think we need one.
No, that'd be cool.
And it was something I was thinking about. I was like, we've seen a lot of, gunfights and stuff like that, but both of these sides have technology to fight in space. You need to see a cool space battle.
I agree. I wouldn't say we've seen a lot of gunfights, but I would agree with that. No, I know what you mean.
The fights we've seen have been gunfights, but it'd be cool to see, like, like a big, even if it's not in episode 8, at least episode 9, a giant, like, space fight.
Yeah.
A space fight leading into the ground, like just a full scope. Kind of like, how Star Wars does it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like Star Wars, but like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just something like that. But I'm excited. Hopefully they don't let us down.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Again, we're only a few days away from the next episode now, or a couple days, really.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. Anything else before we get out?
Let us know your haws in the comments.
Yeah.
Everybody, comment, like, share, subscribe. And thanks for all the support and the listens. We appreciate it.
That's right.
We're here for you guys.
Next thing I was going to say, so you're on it.
So that's all I got.
All right.
See you later.